Welcome to the D times 2 podcast, hosted by sisters Denise and Deborah. We are all about finding balance in the various parts of life. Using the wheel of life as our guide, we explore how to keep each spoke rolling smoothly. We discuss health and wellness, education and spirituality, as well as mental and emotional growth. Join us for real conversations, practical tips, and a few laughs as we share stories, insights, and strategies to help you create a life that feels balanced, purposeful, and designed by you.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, Deborah.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Been good. It's been busy. What have you been up to?
Busy is good. I've been traveling. Right now I'm in Ohio visiting. I don't know if you can hear the squeaking in the background, but that's a new grandbaby.
I cannot hear any squeaking.
Oh, well, maybe it'll come through.
New grandbaby.
That's been fun and busy.
So new grandbaby and then a couple of others that are there that you're playing with.
Yes, there's a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I have a funny story about the 3-year-old.
Oh, tell.
So they were on a walk the other day and her dad caught a grasshopper for her and thought it was pretty cool. And then it hopped away and they kept their walk going. She's 3 years old. She says, "Daddy, I want to find another laundry hamper."
Oh, that's funny.
It is because she knows what a laundry hamper is, but that's what she said.
Well,
so it was pretty funny.
So was it one of those big, like 3-inch long ones or one of the little green ones?
Just a little tiny one.
That's cute. So today we have a couple of guests with us that we thought we would take the opportunity to interview. Gavyn and Maddie. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So you are with Denise right now, or Denise is with you. Will you please tell us who you are? A little bit about you?
Yeah, Maddie says I have to go first, so I guess I will. My name's Gavyn. I am in Ohio, and I'm a third-year law student at Ohio Northern University in my last semester of my third year. So I've got one more semester after the current one. I'm just taking my classes, and I'm looking for jobs for after school.
Who are you?
Yeah, what you're doing. Who are you?
I am Gavyn. Oh, I'm Denise's son.
Okay.
Second, oldest son, the best one. Second child.
Second child, is the best.
Yeah.
I'm forever convinced of that.
Yeah, that's who I am.
Okay. Maddie, will you introduce yourself? Thank you.
I'm Maddie. I am married to Gavyn. We've been married for 7 years. It will be 7 years in April. And we have 3 kids. One of them is 3 weeks old. And we love them so much. I'm from Idaho. And we're just living it up in Ohio right now. I don't work. I just stay home with my kids.
Wait, you need to say that again.
Yeah. Say that all wait. You don't just stay home. You don't not work. You're working your tail off.
Just stay home.
It's an all-day job.
Okay.
You never clock out.
Yeah. I have the privilege and honor of being a stay-at-home mom, and it's the best job in the whole world.
You're a full-time domestic goddess.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
I'm also from Idaho.
Gavyn and I met in middle school,
but you didn't date then.
We did not date in middle school or high school. But when he was serving a mission for our church, I emailed him, and then when he got back, we started dating, and the rest is history.
That's all she wrote.
I still say that's the best decision he ever made.
Well, thank you.
I agree.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for giving a little bit of background about yourselves. Denise gave you a couple of topics to choose from, right?
Yes.
So which topics did you choose from the Wheel of Life, the areas of life that we're going to talk about tonight?
I chose family life. Gavyn, what did you choose?
I chose education
Thank you, Gavyn.
For the record, that choice didn't surprise me at all. I think it's very appropriate for where you are in your life. But why did each of you choose those areas?
I chose family life because I feel like that's all that I do. That's just my life right now. And it's very prevalent for me. And it's the best part of my life. And so that was an easy choice.
I chose education because, kind of like Maddie, it's what most of my time is consumed with, I would say. And it's something that's important to me just in general, whether it's formal schooling or just learning things as you go. I had a church leader or religion professor that once said that knowledge is the glory of God. And I feel like with education comes knowledge. I mean, it helps us to be able to forge relationships and be in a position where we can help others and just kind of be better citizens of the world.
That was profound. Good job. Both of you are stellar people, and I'm so glad that you are my kids.
Oh, thanks.
And that we get to talk to you about this right now. So, Maddie,
Yes.
let's start with you and the questions. How are you navigating family life with your new addition? And Gavyn's school full time, how have you been navigating that?
When I was thinking about this question, I was reminded of an earlier podcast you two did. And I believe that it was the podcast all about you, Denise. And you talked about, I can't remember the name of it, but it was a certain type of calendar.
Oh, Deborah's calendar.
Oh, it was Deborah's?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't remember the name of it. Deborah, what is it called?
Emily Lay, Ley, Emily Lay calendar.
Okay. So I was just reminded of that podcast. And when I was thinking about this question of navigating family life, I immediately just thought of the calendar that sits on my wall. And I feel like with my personality and the way my brain works, I wouldn't be able to function without my calendar, a structure, look at what's coming up, meal planning, all that stuff. And I feel like that has been a priority for me basically the whole time we've been married, but especially as I've had kids and been adding kids, it's just so helpful to have that organization and to see what I need to be doing every day.
Let's talk about the immune system. One of the best defenders we know comes from Optimal Health Systems, and it's called Defense. So it supplies your body with researched back ingredients shown to support your immune system and fight off illness. It also boosts the immune system, providing a potent dose of antibodies for a quick recovery and reduces the risk of viral infection.
One of the things I love is that it increases the white blood cell count in your body almost immediately while filling your gut with healthy bacteria. This is one of those things I recommend to my clients to always have on hand. You can take it continuously through, quote, cold and flu season, or when you're under a lot of stress, or just pop it in here and there if you feel like you're starting to come down with something. Take it for a day or two, maybe 3, and then put it on pause. But it ultimately restores health to areas of your body that are affected by potentially unhealthy eating habits, like during the holidays, and also from overstressing. And it does it by using whole, real food ingredients. You can go to optimalhealthsystems.com and use the code D2, that's DX2, to get a great discount off your order.
So I'm curious, like your calendar, is it a month calendar? Is it a week calendar? How far out are you looking? And like just to stay sane in a day, is it a day at a time? How are you doing that?
I can see a month at a time. I probably look at the calendar close to 50 times or more a day.
Me too.
And I look at I look at the day, what's going on, and then I look at the week and see, I just look at it a lot. And I also have a calendar on my phone. So I have everything that I need to be doing, in 2 places, or else I feel like I would just lose my mind and be aimless and forget all the things. But I feel like that is really the most important part for me navigating, is just to be organized.
And on your calendar, I've looked at it. She has preschool, and she has events going on in Gavyn's school, and she has what they're having for dinner, and it's planned out the whole month. So it's not just like a day at a time, it's the month at a time that she can see everything at once, which is fantastic.
Do you feel like it's working for you?
Yes.
Because sometimes people are doing something and it's just all they can think of, but it's really not working. They feel like the wheels are still coming off, but you feel like you've got a pretty good grip on things.
Yeah, I mean, I've been without family around for 6 out of the almost 7 years of our marriage. So I feel like, if it wasn't working, I would have tried something different a long time ago, because it's really just me. It's just me. Like, I have neighbors, I have people that I can, go to once in a while, but I am in charge of things. It's my responsibility to manage my household. And so if it wasn't working, I would have had to do something different long, long ago.
I love how you said that. Like, it's up to you. You've got full responsibility, full accountability, and you are managing your show. Like, some people like to give away that power. I think there's so much strength in you for acknowledging that it's you. Not that you're all by yourself, because Gavyn's there. Like, you're not abandoned, but you've got ownership of your life. Kudos.
Thank you.
I'm curious too. So that's your family life, and that is a big focus in your wheel of life right now. You guys, or Gavyn chose to talk about education too. Have you continued learning in any way? You're out of high school, you did college, you're mom right now. Do you do anything for your own learning, growth, edification? It's okay if you don't. It's just a question.
Yes, but in very different ways than Gavyn does, like you just said. One is spiritual learning, reading the scriptures, listening to spiritual talks. That's one way that I've been able to keep learning and developing. And I also feel like I have a lot of hobbies that I'm always trying to develop new skills in, like embroidery, cooking, baking, doing my girls' hair. I'm always practicing new things on their hair.
You should see their hair, because it's quite impressive. I could never.
Thank you. Just take some practice, some learning.
Yeah.
Just things that are incorporated into my family life that I can, bring in and learn new skills with and add to my, talents and interests and all that stuff.
Something you did last year that was just for you was you tracked your calories and you exercised a ton. That was for you, and you kind of changed your lifestyle, right?
Yes, I did. I ended up losing close to 50 pounds just tracking calories and weightlifting. I love weightlifting. And so that really was like a whole new thing that I had to learn. I've never, I was really active in high school. I never really had to watch my calories, watch my food consumption in high school. And so it was challenging at first, but it became just like another part of who I am. And it was great. I felt so good. And I want to continue to do that after I've given myself some time, after I've just had a baby, because it was fantastic. And I loved learning new things about nutrition and dieting and our bodies.
It set you up really well for your pregnancy. You went into your pregnancy strong and healthy, and that was good. It's always good.
So I suspect there's also been a lot of learning. And for you, I think it's just practical implementation. And so you don't think of it as learning, but you've learned about child development and, that kind of thing to help your children and raise your children in a good, healthy education, spiritual home.
Yes. Yep. All of that is you're learning just as much as your child is, probably even more about how to raise them and how their brains work and the things that you need to say and how you need to say them. it's all a learning curve.
I want to talk to you about my ice cream I have almost every night for dessert. I started making it about 6 months ago with some of my very favorite protein powder. It's from Equip Foods Prime Protein, and it's one of the safest, cleanest doctor-formulated protein powders that helps to build muscle and shred fat that won't leave you gassy or bloated. That's one of the problems I have with other kinds of proteins. Anyway, it's 100% grass-fed and finished. I make my protein out of their chocolate and their peanut butter. So it's my amazing peanut butter chocolate protein ice cream. It helps me meet my protein goals and taste amazing. To get a nice discount, go to equipfoods.com/DX2 to get 30% off of a subscription order or a nice 15% discount off of a one-time order. You'll love it.
You guys had a special learning curve. You have a daughter that has a genetic disorder. How has that played into managing your family for both of you?
For me, I think going back to my calendar, that was one way. She's had hundreds of doctor's appointments and she's only 3. So managing that alone, just the schedule has been a huge learning curve. And again, most of it, Gavyn took her to a lot of her appointments in the beginning, but since then it's been me. And so I feel like I'm responsible to keep her, as healthy as she can be, keep her going, make sure that the doctors are seeing her like she needs to be seen when she needs to be seen. It's been a huge learning process. What do you think, Gav?
Well, and she's thriving, right? Like she's a robust, busy little girl.
Yeah, she's a wild animal.
You said it, not me.
Maybe repeat the question for me.
How has dealing with child number 2's genetic issue affected you? And what have you learned and how to help support her and what she needs?
I feel like a lot of it is routine for us at this point. It was hard at the beginning. Like Maddie said, she and I both worked hard at the beginning to get it figured out, and it was a little hard to manage everything, but it's mostly routine now where we know what we need to do and we've got our roles figured out and the family to have all of it handled.
I also think that we've had to learn pretty early on that we have to take it one day at a time. It's a disease where it's very different from one child to another, from one adult to another. And so it feels like a little bit of the unknown that we're going into. And so I think a big thing is, taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, and just having faith that she'll be okay and we'll be there to guide her and support her, and that God has a bigger plan for her. And that's been comforting.
And I think with part of that is managing and keeping track of her care. I don't think that I've been to the doctor in 10 years because I'm healthy, whatever. I don't feel like I need to go see the doctor. And so who cares? But with her, we have to keep track of everything. And part of it was having Maddie take notes during doctor's appointments so that I knew what was going on, even though I wasn't there and she was the one that was handling it. But I would still want to know, okay, what did the doctor say about this? What did he say when you asked him that? And just keeping track of everything and keeping a record of it. We have a physical binder where we keep all of her paperwork, or we've tried to keep all of her paperwork and notes on Maddie's phone, just what the doctor says, so we can refer back to it when we're having a hard time or trying to figure out a specific issue that Eleanor's having or something that she's going through. Keep notes of what her life is looking like so we can present it to her doctor and just kind of give them insights as to what we've been seeing.
So you guys are a pretty good team with that. As I've watched you from a distance, you're a pretty good team working with Eleanor and with each other and being her best advocates with her care. And that's pretty cool. So you've had good family time together doing that. Well, good is relative, I guess. Productive. And also learning a ton about how to navigate the medical system.
And I think also navigating care between different providers. She sees a variety of specialists and has some specialty care, and just making sure that we can relay to them what the other specialists are saying, just to kind of keep everybody on the same page and make sure that her care team is all in the loop as to like what's been going on lately. Not just a single doctor, but everybody all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quite the coordinated effort.
Yeah, it's a handful. Thank you for that was some personal information. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I just want to point something out, Maddie, with that question we asked about how are you continuing to educate yourself? Because, we talk a lot about the wheel of life and the different areas in there. And you started out by saying, my sole focus is on the family. But then you proceeded to talk about spiritual and physical and hobbies, recreation, like you're doing other things too. And I hope that you acknowledge that in yourself, even though one of your very big focuses is in the home on your family.
I definitely acknowledge it because I feel like I would go insane or get depressed. Like I just need things for me.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of the wheel. You have to be balanced. You have to have you need to be a good parent, but you also need to do things for yourself so you can be a good parent.
All right, Gavyn. How do you find balance between family life and full-time school? Now, you're not just full-time school, but you're also doing an externship where you drive 2 days a week for an hour and a half. Well, I guess it's 3 hours combined, right? Hour and a half each way. So how are you balancing your life?
So I feel like I've learned a lot over the past few years of law school. And I kind of relate it when people ask, how do I do it with 2 kids, now 3 kids and family, and there's people at school, they're just single, working their way through it. And I kind of try to treat school like it was a full-time job. I feel like my parents really drilled into me the work ethic stuff, and maybe some of it was developed on my own, but they really taught me how to work, or showed me by example how important work is. So during my first year of law school, I just treated it like it was a full-time job, putting in more than 40 hours a week, obviously, but I'd leave the house at 8 a.m., come back for lunch when I could. Sometimes I'd pack a lunch and take it, come back at 5 o'clock on the dot. I'd leave the school and come back home to play with the girls and have family dinner and put the girls to bed. And then I would finish whatever studying I didn't get to after they went to bed. So I, started just treating it like it was a full-time job, kind of like I did. I mean, I worked full-time between undergrad and law school, and you just separate your time and block off when you're going to be doing what. And just like a full-time job, it's kind of evolved since then. I know when I can take time off, I guess you would say, to be at home and do family things and take the occasional day or afternoon or morning time to stay home and help Maddie with the girls or go grocery shopping with them. But I just think that treating it like it's a full-time thing has really helped me to just compartmentalize what I'm doing and when I should be doing it.
So to me, it sounds like with the full-time thing, full-time job, part of that is your established hours, your 8 to 5 or whatever, and then family time.
Correct. I'm sorry, was there a question there?
No, was I understanding correctly?
Yeah.
One of the most toxic things that people do is color their hair. And my hand is up. I am guilty of this. I love to play with my hair color. I have for years. And now I love to cover my grays. The best non-toxic hair color that I have found is Polar Hair Care. It is easy. It applies like a shampoo. You only have to leave it on for 10 minutes. It lasts for about 6 weeks. And it doesn't have any of the harsh chemicals and all the nasty stuff in it. Plus, it's infused with reishi, macadamia, jojoba oil. So it leaves my hair feeling better and not dried out and abused. Use the code Debra6334. That's my name, Debra 6334. So if you go to polarhaircare.com/Deborah6334. You'll get an awesome discount off your order.
Okay. So a lot of your focus is on law and school. We know you've learned more with taking care of your daughter and some of her stuff. Are there other areas that you have continued to educate yourself in the midst of your law school career?
Yeah, a couple come to mind. I guess the first one is just like what real life is like outside of school. I've worked, I guess this is the third place that I've worked during law school, just learning what real life is, what real office culture is like, depending on where I am, and how to navigate interpersonal relationships with people that I meet and I'm around for just a couple months, and then I move on just with the school assignments and like externships and internships and placements during law school. That's the first way I think that I've continued to be educated outside of maybe the classroom or the textbooks that I'm in. And the second one that I thought of was I really had to be self-sufficient in maintaining vehicles that we have. I feel like it was taught to you growing up how to do things on cars, whether it's, changing brakes or changing the oil or feeling how it feels when you're driving down the road if you need new tires or something like that, right? But just part of the experience that I've had in law school, we had to purchase a second car so that I could drive. Like Denise said, I drove to Fort Wayne for 2 summers, which was an hour and a half commute. I drove to Toledo, which is an hour commute, and now I'm driving to Dayton area, which is another hour and a half commute. So I had to purchase another car. It's a little older, it needs a little work, and just figuring out everything I need to do to fix what's wrong with it, but also preventative maintenance to make sure that it runs until Annie can drive it.
Annie's their 4-year-old.
I think it's funny you mentioned you had to kind of learn about vehicle maintenance repair, because I remember one time I came to visit you and Maddie when you were still an undergrad, and you were out in the parking lot at your apartment working on the car. There was snow on the ground, but you were out there doing what you needed to do. So I've seen it in action.
Not much has changed.
He's done stuff on his car that his dad hasn't done, and his dad has told me he's very proud of him for the things that he's learned how to do. So good job, Gavyn.
Yeah, it's good to know that if I do something wrong, it's my fault, and it feels better than it being somebody else's fault. So I'd rather screw it up myself.
Yeah. Something else that he has learned how to do is smoke meat.
Oh yeah,
He's been quite the smoker.
Yeah.
When did you get your first smoker, Gavyn?
During 2020, when I was at BYU. I think it got kind of popular then on social media, but I've always liked animal products of all kinds. So I found a cheap Traeger grill smoker. Well, actually, I started off with a propane smoker that just burned wood chunks, and progressed and bought a Traeger's because it was easier while I was busy with other obligations. But yeah, I bought a Traeger during my undergrad, and I've carried it across the country with me and just tried to cook anything I can get my hands on.
True, that is true. He smokes a lot of meat. He's inspired his father to buy a smoker. You're very inspirational to your dad. I don't know if you know that or not.
Well, it's great because then I can have smoked meat no matter where I'm visiting. I think my father-in-law also bought a Traeger shortly after I did, so I can basically have what I want wherever I am. It's pretty great.
You're so spoiled.
What a life. So let's start to wrap things up here. What are a couple of your guys' best practices for balancing your personal needs with your kids and spouse? How do you look after you?
Maddie tried to make me practice these questions before we started, so I would know what to say. And she asked me this one, and I was kind of thinking of my personal needs, and I don't feel like there are a lot of them. I kind of, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I just try to make sure that everybody else around me is doing good. I don't feel like I need a whole lot, and I just try to spend my spare time helping with the girls or playing with them or helping out Maddie and spending quality time with Maddie. I think she's going to talk a little bit as to what we do to spend time together, but I'll let her take over.
But that fills your cup. Doing those things fills your cup so that you can function well in the other areas of your life.
Yeah, I feel like I was talking to somebody recently and they asked, what drives me. They wanted to know what I do to make sure that I stay on top of things, stay on track with school and work and all that. And I said, I owe it to having people that rely on me. If I didn't have anybody to rely on me, I don't know where I would be. I'd just be like laying in bed all day because it doesn't matter what I would do at that point. But I agree with Denise.
It gives you purpose and you like stepping into that purpose. Good.
Yeah.
How about you, Maddie?
I feel like I get the best balance between my personal needs and the needs of my kids and Gavyn when I can. I haven't done it in a while because pregnancy exhaustion is crazy. But I like waking up before my kids do. And if it's just getting in a nice bath before they wake up, that really charges my battery. And they go to bed pretty early, like around 7:30. So those 3 hours that I get by myself or with Gavyn before I have to go to bed are plenty for me to recharge and to fill that personal need. And then I was just going to say we like to prioritize dates because they're important. And so we've been doing a weekly date night where we make French toast and we have orange juice and we sit on the couch together and we watch our TV show. And that has been awesome. And I feel like we have gotten closer together and it really fills both of our cups when we do that. I think that's really how I balance my needs and my kids' needs is just finding time. I don't require a lot, but I just try to find time where I can be by myself and do things that make me happy too. So
I love the example of your date night that you guys are doing, that it's not something crazy or extravagant or expensive. Like it's so simple. You're still at home, but it's dedicated time together with a little bit of a routine like that you look forward to.
It's been great. And I think that because we do it every week, it's part of that routine that helps bring the balance of family life into play.
Yeah, it didn't used to be. I feel like I would hear all the time, like, make time for each other. Maddie's aunt, uncle, or friends or something like that would always go on a weekly date. And I was like, yeah, but like, who has time for that? And kind of after a busy summer, when I was working 2 jobs, it was just like one night we were like, let's just get the girls their own dinner and then have French toast because we wanted French toast that night. And then after we were like, hey, that was kind of fun. Maybe we should do it again next week. And we've just been, like Maddie said, it's kind of just become a routine where we felt weird, like not doing it as we've been busy with this newborn and having people come and visit. But it's like it became an accidental, like, weekly thing that we do, and it's been great.
So do you guys have any words of advice for young couples?
I have just been thinking a lot about the importance of being there for your kids. And people may have different opinions than I do, and that's fine. And I feel like this might be an unpopular opinion in this day and age, but I fully believe that you can make any budget work for your family. Talking about women, if you want to stay home and be with your kids, it doesn't matter how much money your family makes, you can make it work. And you just have to budget and be smart with your money and the rest will fall into place. But that's been on my mind a lot. And it's just all part of the balance. It's all part of making things work for your family. And I think that being at home with your kids is the most important place to be. And that will give your kids the best childhood. So that is my advice.
So that's Maddie being the date influencer.
Yes.
Anti-consumerism. Yeah. Simple can work. Inexpensive can work. But it's a choice. And some people have different priorities. But it's personal, right?
Sure is. Okay, Gavyn, did you have advice?
I thought of a 4-word personal motto, and maybe something that I've been trying to implement in our family, even though Maddie might think it's a little corny, but it's no sacrifice, no victory. And it's, in your young married life, in your adult life, in your life when you have grown kids, if you don't make necessary sacrifices, then you won't have maybe everything you're looking for in life. You won't be able to feel fulfilled. I try to sacrifice as much as I can to make my family's life better and make the kids' lives better. And it's led to personal victories and a sense of satisfaction that I wouldn't be able to have without. So no sacrifice, no victory.
Nice. I like that. I don't think that's corny. It's profound.
That actually reminds me of one of the lessons that I used to teach when I served the mission for our church. Sacrifice brings blessings, but you don't need to be a martyr about it.
Sorry, Deborah, don't sacrifice your life. You don't have to sacrifice your life in all cases. It's just little sacrifices here and there lead to little victories that amount to large things in the long run.
So no sacrifice, no victory. That was your 4-word motto?
Yes.
Maddie, you should embroider that on a little thing.
Hang it on the wall.
Make it pretty. Thank you guys so much for taking some time to share your insights and experiences and personal stories with us. We know it's not easy to kind of open up to the world. We appreciate it.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really enjoy your podcast. So it's been awesome talking with you.
So if you found anything helpful or useful in this podcast, we'd appreciate it if you'd like it and share it with someone who may benefit from the things that were shared in this podcast.
Any comments that you can leave for us are always helpful.
Until next time,
keep your wheel rolling strong and keep it full of purpose. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You can edit
it. Thanks for listening to the D×2 podcast with Denise and Deborah. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who's ready to roll toward a more balanced life. Your support means the world to us. And just a quick note, we're sharing our own experiences and ideas, not professional advice. Always do your own research and talk to a qualified expert before making big decisions. Until next time, keep your wheel rolling strong.